the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
Hey, good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Aaron's Hour, coming to you live from a very wet and soggy and cold Virginia Beach, Virginia. That's right. We had 90 degrees 4 days in a row. My pool temperature got up over 70 degrees, and now it's yucky outside for Memorial Day. But that's okay. You know why? Because I'm indoors, and today I have a guest with me that we'll hear all about here momentarily. Her name is Stephanie Corcoran. She is with Freedom Lending Team. If you are a veteran and you want to buy your first home and you're not sure what side is up, this is who to call. We'll get into that in a few minutes. First and foremost, I want to thank all of our sponsors. Of course, Freedom Lending Team is one of our sponsors here at Aaron's Hour. Coastal Aesthetics 757 for all you men out there with some ED issues. This is the place to call. Tidewater Community College, of course, from here, grow anywhere. Sky 4 over there, my friends there, and we have some announcements that we'll make throughout the show. Want to thank you for tuning in. As always, live on 3 Facebook pages, live on 3 YouTube channels, and tomorrow on dbtv.com. You can check us out at 1 p.m. for the re-air of Aaron's Hour shows there, and 8 a.m. for any of your Kiwanis Connect shows. And of course, in an hour and a half, in 90 minutes from now, local time, 12:30 p.m., Channel 4, Cox Cable Channel 4, the voice of 757, my show all about Hampton Roads. Today's guest is Tammy McGee from the Connor Guido Foundation. This young man at the age of 16 in 2019 lost his life because he got into a car with an unlicensed driver, and his life was cut short. And his mom, Tammy, will share her story about how she is now working with the state, or I should say the Commonwealth of Virginia, that's something I'm learning to say, and has had 5 laws changed thus far in underage driving and the ramifications not only for the drivers, but for their parents. So make sure you tune in. And if you missed that episode, because it is a long weekend, early next week, you can go to the Facebook page, The Voice of 757, and I will have the show uploaded there for continuous viewing. John is in Las Vegas. John, how are you, my friend?
Starting to get warm.
Starting to get warm. What does that mean for you in Vegas?
Well, believe it or not, it's only 74 degrees this morning.
Well, it is only, 8 o'clock your time now?
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock, and we've been hitting the mid-90s and creeping up on that 100-degree mark here pretty quick.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Earlier in the week, we had, I think I put this on my Facebook page. I forgot what, maybe Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever day it was like 91% humidity. And it was like 80 degrees here or 70 degrees. And I'm like, no. And then, of course, that's what brought all the rain, was all the humidity. So it's been comfortable, but it's been 60 degrees.
Wait. Did the humidity bring the rain, or did the rain bring the humidity?
No, the humidity came first. This is like the chicken or the egg. The humidity came first, then the rain. And
okay.
Since then, it's been raining. It hasn't really been a steady rain. We've had a few bouts of heavy showers, but it's been like London. It's been that misty.
I feel like I'm back home in Washington.
Stephanie spent much time, and you saw the house back there, right?
I do.
In Seattle. So this rainy weather is like right up.
I feel like I'm at home again.
Yes. All right. Say goodbye, John.
Goodbye.
Thank you. All right. So we have a lot to talk about with Stephanie. Stephanie, your sweet spot as far as mortgage lending and helping is with the veterans all across the country, right?
Yep. Yes, it is.
So we'll get into that. So even though she's based here in Virginia Beach and actually in Virginia, but her services and her, with the exception of New York, right? I'm saying that we're giving that disclaimer
Licensed
right up front.
Everything, every state but New York.
Every other state but New York. So sorry, New York. You have to move to one of the other states to get Stephanie's help. She can actually help really clear up any, I don't want to say cloudiness, but misconceptions or lack of understanding of the benefits.
A lot of misconceptions.
Right? A lot of, and we're going to get into misconceptions. We're going to bust some myths. We're going to get into some basics when it comes especially for VA loans and stuff. But before we get to that, you know what time it is. It's time now for Vegas a Wrap 2.0.
With a nod to the past and an eye to the future, here is Aaron Phillips with Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
All right, welcome back. Hey, by the way, today's Vegas Unwrapped 2.0 is themed for Memorial Day. It is Memorial Day. hence the red, white, and blue hat today, a little something different to honor everybody involved. That is really part of Memorial Day. And yesterday on Kiwanis Connects, I asked everybody out there, if you're going to celebrate Memorial Day, first of all, be safe, enjoy, no matter the weather, what you do. But let's remember the reason we are celebrating Memorial Day, because without those who served, we wouldn't be here doing what we can do today, right? Those who are, whether you're active, retired, spouse thereof, or some sort of military family connection. If you have some sort of connection, thank you for your service, John. That goes for you as well back there in Las Vegas. So let's talk about some of the things going on there in Vegas and Henderson, and then we'll talk about some of the things going on here to really celebrate and enjoy and remember what Memorial Day is all about. All right, so let's talk about things going on back there in Henderson. This is on Monday. This is the Field of Honor ceremony. The city signature Memorial Day event takes place on Monday, May 25th at 9 a.m. Pacific time at Cornerstone Park. This is hosted in partnership with the Military Order of the Purple Heart Chapter 730. The park will display over 500 American flags throughout the weekend. So check that out there at Cornerstone Park. Now, Palm Henderson Remembrance Services. This is located on Eastern Avenue at Palm Cemetery, Palm Mortuary, right there on Eastern Avenue. This site hosts Scout-led flag placement ceremonies at veterans' grave sites, also on Monday the 25th. So that's a great memorial as well. My community here in Virginia Beach, where I live, Bellamy Manor Estates, is part of what we do. Every home has a red, white, and blue flag put out on their yard. So again, we do that for July 4th and Labor Day and all the holidays as well. And I say we because I'm the president of my civic league. So what happens when you don't show up to the poker game, you get caught with all of that. No, actually, it's pretty cool. All right. Now, in Las Vegas proper, Sky Canyon, up in the northern part of Las Vegas, that's actually pretty close to John, past his studio up near the Santa Fe station and beyond. This community event acts as a localized parade alternative, and that happens today, Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific time back there. Families line up decorated, patriotic vehicles at 9 a.m. before launching a community car cruise at 10:15 a.m. Pacific time to benefit the Klein Veterans Fund. So that's pretty cool. All the registration there supports that. The Lakes Memorial Day Ceremony, Nevada Post 76, Spirit of Freedom Legionnaires host the 24th annual Post 76 Memorial Day ceremony at Lake Sahara South Park on Monday, May 25th. That's 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. So check that out there in the Lakes area. I used to live over there in that side of Las Vegas. Police Memorial Park flag display. Veteran volunteers display over 6,000 flags at Police Memorial Park throughout this entire weekend. And of course, services up in Boulder City would not be complete since the VA cemetery is up there in Boulder City. Southern Nevada Veterans Memorial Cemetery Services. This is located just past Henderson, right there in Boulder City, up near where Hoover Dam is. This cemetery features a flag emplacement by volunteers, followed by the official state chapel service with Governor Joe Lombardo. And this is also Monday, May 25th. You might want to just check out the time for all of that. Up there in Boulder City. Again, Boulder City is where the VA cemetery is. So that's some of the things going on back there in Vegas and Henderson for the Memorial Day weekend. Now let's bring it a little closer to home, shall we? Because as much as I would love to hop on a plane, I'll never get out there in time for all that stuff in Vegas.
Well, and also with caveat on those,
Yes.
that most of the people who put those flags out there are all volunteers. They go out at VFWs
Yep.
and Boy Scouts and things like that. They go out and put their own time to respect, the people who have served our country.
Absolutely.
And that's just unbelievable.
Absolutely. Well said. When you counted the number of tens of thousands
Oh
of
my
flags that
gosh.
were just mentioned and the amount of volunteers, not that there's one volunteer per flag, but you still need
Right.
a boatload of volunteers to get that number of
That's
flags
just,
out.
and that's just in one little section.
Correct. So thank you to all those there. Let's talk about some of the things going on here. If you're in Norfolk, let's talk about the fact that the 2026 Larchmont Edgewater Civic League's 4th annual Memorial Day Parade, Community Fair, and Wreath Laying Ceremony. This will take place at the Larchmont United Methodist Church parking lot. This is also on Monday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So you can check that out by going to the larchmontedgewater.org /events/parade. Now, also Memorial Day weekend at the zoo, the Virginia Zoo locally. This is actually started yesterday. We'll go through Monday. They have events going on beginning at 4 p.m. You can go to virginiazoo.org and check out those events. And then at the Scope Arena, downtown Norfolk, the Patriotic Festival kicked off yesterday. It's going to go through tomorrow. You can check that out at patrioticfestival.com. So you got some 3 major events there in Norfolk. Now, locally here in the Virginia Beach proper area where we are, City of Virginia Beach annual Memorial Day ceremony. This will take place on Monday at the Tidewater Veterans Memorial. Attendees who want to place flags and wreaths are encouraged to arrive by 11:15 a.m. to check in. For this event, you can go to virginiabeach.gov, click on events, and you'll be able to check out all the details for that as well. One of my favorite places, I'm sure you've been to. Have you been to the Military Aviation Museum
I have
near
not.
Congo? You've never been there?
I just got here.
Oh my God!
Been
Yeah,
here.
but you've been in and out of town doing work.
I have, but no, I haven't. I haven't been there.
This is something when you. This is more like if you're part of the convention community.
Okay.
I'm kind of doing this for them. The authority, the Military Aviation Museum is a terrific museum of all the aircraft, not only just from the United
I would love
States,
that.
but in Europe during wartime and everything. And they even have one of the barracks set up. And of course, during the German war, and they have a hangar back there that still has bullet holes in it.
Oh, wow,
I mean,
really?
it is just awesome.
Wow.
But Run to Remember Virginia Beach. This is taking place on Monday at the Military Aviation Museum from 6:30 a.m. until noon on Monday. So it's a run to honor and commemorate Memorial Day. You can go to www.va250.org. So this is obviously an event in conjunction with celebrating 250 years, of course, /event-detail. But just go to va250.org for all of those details as well. Now, if you're over in Chesapeake, Memorial Day celebration, this will take place on Monday at the Chesapeake Veterans Memorial at Chesapeake City Hall from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. on Monday. www.visitchesapeake.com. Click on events and all the details will drop down there as well. If you're up in Portsmouth, Portsmouth's annual Memorial Day Parade, the reviewing stand will be at High Street and Court Streets. The parade kicks off at 10 a.m. on Monday. Go to www.portsmouth. So I'm saying Portsmouth, but it's Portsmouth. Okay. portsmouthva.gov. And again, you can click on the events there for the Memorial Day Parade. You folks up in Suffolk, I haven't forgotten about you up there either. The Albert G. Horton Jr. Memorial Veterans Cemetery Memorial Day Ceremony. This location is up in Suffolk at the Albert G. Horton Jr. Memorial Veterans Cemetery. Monday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Ceremony is going to be going on there. www.dvs, David Victor Stephen, .virginia.gov /home, and then just click on events under there and you'll be able to get all the details there. You folks up in Newport News up in the Peninsula area, Memorial Day ceremony on May 25th, again on Monday at 11 a.m. at the Victory Arch up there in Newport News. For that event, you can go to newportnewshistory.org /events. Now, while you're up in that direction, if you don't want to go all the way up into Newport News, you can stop short in Hampton, right? Hampton National Cemetery. This is also 10 a.m. at the Hampton National Cemetery. You know, what's interesting, everybody knows that this area is the Navy Yard and the shipyard and how military driven it is. You can't go too far without kicking a stone into somebody who's military connected. Right. And when you listen to all the cities here in the Hampton Roads area that have events going on, it's pretty obvious, you know, what's happening here. So up in Hampton, May 25th, 10 a.m. at the Hamptons National Cemetery. For more information on that, www.cem.va.gov for information up in Hampton. Williamsburg, one of our historical sites. We have Williamsburg and Yorktown, not only just for Memorial Day, but also from a historical perspective. You know, you got Williamsburg and Yorktown. Palace Green, Memorial Day commemoration at 10 a.m. on Monday. So go to www.colonialwilliamsburg.org, click on events, and the information will drop down there. And last but not least, those of you in Yorktown, the War Memorial in front of York Hall, 301 Main Street up in Yorktown, that's at high noon on Monday. For that, you go to www.yorkcounty.gov/M as in memory and /news, but just go to yorkcounty.gov. I'm sure they have an events tab there and you get all the details. So a lot going on back in Las Vegas and Henderson, a lot going on here in the Hampton Roads area to commemorate Memorial Day. Even if you don't go out to any of that stuff, whatever you choose to do to celebrate non-Memorial Day, just please do it safely so that next week you can come back and watch the next show because you enjoyed. All right, with that, we're going to step aside for our first break. Our commercials, I have a couple of live reads to take care of, and then we're going to get down to business with Miss Stephanie here, talk about all your VA loan questions that you have in your head, we're afraid to ask. This is a safe zone. You can ask them here in chat or on YouTube as well. Anyway, you're watching Aaron's Hour. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Stephanie Corcoran, branch manager of the Freedom Lending Team, is a dedicated VA home loan specialist that runs a team with one mission, serving those who have served our country. As a proud military family member, she understands the sacrifices that come with service. That's why Stephanie and her team are committed to making the VA loan process simple, clear, and tailored specifically for veterans and active duty families. Whether you're buying your first home or using your VA benefits again, you deserve a team that knows the ins and outs and puts your needs first. To chat with Stephanie, call 209-777-5160. At Freedom Lending Team, we don't just do VA loans, we specialize in them. Let us help you take the next step by bringing veterans home.
Men, are you disappointing your partner in the bedroom? Let's cut to the chase. Are you suffering from erectile dysfunction? 50% of men between the ages of 40 to 70 experience some form of ED. If you are experiencing ED, there is help without pills or needles to even worry about. Coastal 757 Aesthetics has new technology for men called Apex RF. Apex RF is a modern, non-invasive treatment that uses radio frequency to strengthen tissue from the inside out, resulting in better blood flow to the penis and a happier life partner. Call Coastal 757 Aesthetics at 757-481-4036 for a free consultation. That's 757-481-4036. Coastal 757 Aesthetics. Care for all phases of life.
All right, thank you very much. Welcome back to Aaron's Hour. But first, John, if you would please put up the flyer regarding the baptism stuff for tomorrow. I could do that live read for it. There you go. Tomorrow, May 24th, Pentecost Sunday, churches all around the world are participating in Baptize the World, a campaign to offer baptism opportunities to thousands who want to make a public declaration of their faith in Jesus. In the Hampton Roads region, Life Point Church Hampton Roads is a local host site for this campaign, right in Chesapeake at the Crossways Shopping Center's Old Regal Cinema. If you or a loved one have been waiting to be baptized, now's your chance. To get more information or to sign up to be baptized, go to findlifepoint.church/baptize-hampton-road. So again, that's tomorrow, Sunday the 24th. There's a QR code there on the screen. You can check that out. Last but not least, John, let's go to Back Nine, and then we'll get started here with Stephanie. Now, I bring this up because the owners of Back Nine in Great Bridge, they are members of the Chesapeake Kiwanis Club. And on Thursday, June 4th, they're celebrating their grand opening. Look, it's rainy. It's schmutzy. It's disgusting here in Chesapeake area right now in Virginia Beach. So if you had a tea time, the rain would wash you out. Not when you go to Back Nine, because this is an indoor simulation facility, has 5 beautiful bays. So Thursday, June 4th, 4 to 7 p.m., there'll be some food, games, prizes. I will be there hosting it. And they are also offering 3 discounted memberships called founding memberships, Par, Birdie, and Eagle. There's only 25 of these discounted memberships per category available. Once we hit June 4th, then the regular prices go back into place. So you could see for the Par membership, right now as a founding member is only $188, but it's going to go up to $238. The Birdie, $238 to $298. Eagle membership right now as a founding member is $298, goes up to $388. There's QR codes there. Come on down, register for these founding memberships, and they do offer corporate memberships. They offer events. They offer ways to support nonprofits, which Core 501 will be part of, right, Eli? So come on down June 4th, grand opening, Great Bridge. The address is there, 500 South Battlefield Boulevard. Come on down and support this new business. Thank you, John. All right, enough about all of that. Stephanie's here to talk about mortgages and the VA business and everything else. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for supporting the show. Appreciate it. Also, if you guys missed it in the press conference for the Women's Professional Basketball Invitational Tournament, Stephanie's company was kind enough, Stephanie and her company and her business, sponsored that press conference that we did down at Chartway. So thank you for that. All right. Look, people are not talking about mortgages is not new stuff.
No.
Okay. And I can bring it in Vegas, real estate agents are 14,000 a dime a dozen. And I'm sure for every real estate agent, there's probably 10 mortgage people like a Stephanie, but
not like a Stephanie.
No, I was going to say, but not like a Stephanie, where you specialize really your niche. And you can write mortgages for anybody, but your niche, because of your background, your family, we saw in the commercial, your son is currently active military. You've kind of taken heart to supporting the military community and the VA community to make sure they understand what's available to them. Where did that desire come from to help the military side of the mortgage industry and help the veterans with their VA loans and stuff to get into buying a home?
Well, I lived it. I mean, I lived the life for a long time. So kind of a little bit of background is my grandfather's 35 years in the Air Force. My dad is a Vietnam veteran. So I was raised by my dad.
Right.
So the discipline part of that, I understand.
Right.
I was married. My ex-husband we did 23 years in the Army. So I lived the military spouse life. My son is now out. He's 100% disabled veteran now. And living that life and seeing all the people struggle. And as a spouse, when your loved one is away, the one at home is the one who's stuck doing everything. And watching my dad struggle with his things with the VA, my ex-husband struggling with the things with the VA, and then continuously on with my son, and just being around that world, I seen a need, and it speaks to me. Like the military community has its own language, and you need to understand the language and what people go through and the spouses go through, and the active duty, the veterans, what happens afterwards. There's so much that's not told to anybody. And it spoke to me. And I've been in the financial industry doing loans for almost 30 years. And when I moved from California to Washington State, because of my son and his injuries, I just couldn't believe how many people were getting taken advantage of and didn't know the information that they needed to know. And so I just instinctively just started telling people, like, don't do this. You need to go see this person, and just built a very large network across the country of people, because military is always moving. You're moving somewhere.
That's right. That go bag mentality.
Yeah, you're going somewhere. So being able to have friends and family that are spread out all over the country, and now clients and realtors and all these people, I've been able to really build a lovely, wonderful connection of military families and businesses and real estate agents and everything else to to help fill the need
Mhm.
of making sure that they're not taken advantage of.
Absolutely. And it's being an advocate.
Correct.
And
yes.
a lot of people, there's the old saying, you don't know what you don't know
Mhm.
unless somebody tells you something.
Well, and you're going to trust the person who's in front of you because that's their
Correct.
job to do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. All right. So let's get down to it. I love myth busting no matter what
Mhm.
industry and whoever I talk to, because in every industry, there's always myths
always.
and misconceptions.
Yep.
Give us, let's say, the top 3 and let's bust them right now. What would
Let's
you say
see.
would be number 3? Let's go 3 to 1.
3 to 1. I think 3 would be that you can't have some sort of investment property
Okay.
with a VA loan.
Okay.
So, which that is somewhat true as long as you've lived in the house at least 12 months.
Okay.
You can turn it into an Airbnb, a rental, those sort of things. You can buy up to a 4-plex,
Okay.
live in one for a year, rent the other 3 out.
So the key is being a resident in that property for 12 months.
Correct.
Okay.
At that 12-month period.
Gotcha.
Anything after that, you can rent it, different things like that.
Okay.
Number 2, that a non-veteran
Okay.
cannot buy with a veteran. So
Okay.
say, you or I are not married and we wanted to go in on a house together,
Gotcha.
you could do that.
Okay.
So it does not
As
have
like
to be.
co-investors or co-partners in a property.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but the caveat is they live in the house for the 12 months, that
Okay.
12-month period. There's some little, nuances to the type of
Sure.
loan. One has a down payment, one doesn't,
Okay.
but it's possible.
Okay.
So a lot of people are told that they cannot do that. I think I would say tie for number 1 would be that you cannot you can't have a VA loan more than once,
Okay.
or have multiple VA loans at a time,
Okay.
which is not true. You can have one, you lived in it a year and you go buy another one.
Gotcha.
So you can do that. And the other one is about credit score,
Okay.
that there's a minimum credit score. The VA says no. The VA has not put a minimum credit score on anything. It's the lender that you're working with.
And I'm glad you said that. We were actually talking to John
Yeah.
before we went on the air about the difference between who says what within
Oh
the
my
process
gosh.
of getting a mortgage, whether it's even a VA loan or a standard loan.
Yes,
Who is really the ones that dictate
it's
the
the lender.
steps?
The lender is the one that is the one who is setting those guidelines as
Okay.
far as a minimum credit score, a debt to income ratio, because in the VA handbook, the VA is the one who writes the rules.
Okay.
The VA is not the lender. The VA doesn't
Correct.
lend you the money.
Right.
It's the lender that's going off of the rules, but they have what's called overlays.
Okay.
So the lender can add these overlays to what the handbook says.
Gotcha.
But in our case, we go by the handbook.
Okay.
So, a lot of lenders have a minimum of a 620 or whatever.
Mhm.
So a lot of people are going off of well, I don't have a 620 credit score, so I'm not going to be able to buy a house
Okay.
because the lender that I talked to says it was a 620.
Right.
But that's not the
Whereas
case.
the VA handbook says different.
There is no minimum credit score. So
Right.
I have, a lot of people, unfortunately, divorce is a huge one,
Sure.
that maybe their credit got tanked because of debts and different things
Mhm.
like that. But there's other compensating factors.
Okay.
Maybe they just sold a house and got 200 grand sitting in the bank,
Okay.
and debt's going to get paid off. Like we look at the big picture
Okay.
with my team of how can we get somebody in a house that isn't going to be house poor,
Okay.
that's going to get taken care of and isn't going to get taken advantage of and get told the information ahead of time.
So it's interesting because I can only imagine that the VA booklet's probably about yay thick.
It's pretty, yeah. Well, luckily it's online. So
Oh,
we're
okay.
good.
So I got to imagine there's how much time you must put in to stay on top of
Oh,
the
yeah.
VA handbook and when there's changes and everything
Yep.
that comes down. How big is your team that you work with that's part of your business that is up on what's going on? Because you can't be everywhere. You can't deal with every phone call that comes in as much as you may want to.
Yes.
So how big is your staff to be able to talk to to have the knowledge to be able to talk to veterans who want to be involved?
So I actually do it myself.
Do you really?
I do. Yeah. So
Okay.
I have an assistant and I have a processor.
Okay.
We also have in-house underwriting,
Okay.
which is amazing. So PRMG, Paramount Residential Mortgage, is the company that my umbrella company that I work under. And then I have my own office. I have Freedom Lending Team.
Okay.
But yeah, I take those calls myself.
Wow. Okay.
I do. I'm throwing it out there. I'm a control freak. Like, I don't
The
want,
first step to recovery.
yeah, but it makes me good at my
No,
job,
absolutely,
So, no, I actually do. I take those calls in myself. I answer the questions, and, luckily with technology and I have, my website has a lot of information,
Right.
email,
What is the
text.
website? Let's get that right now.
Oh,
while we're
it's
talking about it.
valoansbysteph.com.
Okay.
So there's a lot of also VFW stuff if you need to get a copy of your DD-214, a lot of information that's on there. Also, I've tried to make it informative, but like you said, I can't be everywhere and handle it and stuff like that. But
And it's VA Loans
Yeah.
by Steph, right?
valoansbysteph.com. Yep. And so and I do every loan. So I can do just about every single loan under the sun, but VA is my heart. So probably 80% of my clients that I work with are veterans, active duty spouses, that sort of thing. So
VA Loans by Steph. Did you say by Steph.com, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just want to get this to John so we can put that up on the crawl as well,
Yeah.
so people can get to your website. Also, we've been scrolling your email. This way, if people want to email you direct, they can do that as well.
Yes.
All right. So are there different rates for VA loans versus conventional loans? So, or
Mhm.
again, because of the handbook, is there discounts applied as a courtesy to veterans because they're applying for loan versus a non-veteran who might
Actually,
want to get a
there
mortgage?
are. So the VA loan is probably in my eyes, I'm sure other people disagree, I feel is the best loan.
Mhm.
Just because the guidelines are written different for a VA loan versus a conventional loan, an FHA loan. It's very strict. There's government guidelines
Mhm.
that when it comes to different things, especially on an FHA loan,
Okay.
you have debt to income ratios that you have to meet. On the VA, you don't.
Okay.
Like I've done loans way above where the ratios, are supposed to
Let's
be.
talk about what an income to debt ratio is while we're talking
Debt
about
to income ratio, what money goes in and what money goes out and
Okay.
what's left over. But the one thing that's amazing with the VA loan is they do what's called residual income.
it. Okay.
After your bills and the taxes and stuff, they do a residual on top of your regular income.
Okay.
And nobody else does that.
Gotcha.
And that
So they'll look at what's left over that's usable along with your actual income that comes in.
exactly.
Is that like getting the double credit for the same money that comes in?
Sorta, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I mean, good on you.
yeah, exactly. And so a conventional interest rate is going to be a little bit higher.
Right.
And then FHA and then VA. And you got USDA, you
Right.
got DSCR. There's all kinds of different types of loans,
Gotcha.
but in general, a VA loan is going to be your best interest rate.
How far reaching within a veteran family is someone
Mm-hmm.
eligible to apply for a veteran loan?
You have to be a service member. So
Actual service
member and the spouse. So they have to be married to
Okay.
do it. The spouse, unless they've been in the service, will
Okay.
not get their own.
Okay.
There are little
A
pieces.
child
No.
thereof would not be eligible.
No,
Okay,
it has to be
gotcha.
the service member themselves, and anything after 90 days of service.
Okay.
So basically, once they've graduated boot camp
Okay.
type of thing, if they're National Guard or reserves, they have to have 6 years of service. So
Okay.
they have points.
Okay.
So they have to have 6 years of full points, or they have had to been on active duty orders.
Gotcha.
So it is different for if you've ever been active duty versus if you've only been like National Guard
Okay.
or reserves. So
I asked that because immediately I was thinking of the commercial, the USAA commercials.
Yeah.
That's good for veteran or their family. And
No.
I want to purposely clarify that.
yes,
Where you can get a bank, account or
yeah.
car insurance to USAA, whether you're active or family thereof,
Yeah.
but not in the case. With
Get a
VA
lot
loans.
of people asking that question
Right.
because dad was a veteran or mom
Mhm.
or what have you, but no, unfortunately not. But if you are a spouse of a service member who has maybe passed away
Okay.
from a service connected disability and you're receiving their VA benefits, that person is most likely has their own VA benefit now.
Gotcha.
And so I've caught a lot of people by asking the right questions
Okay.
of, are you receiving your spouse's VA benefits? And if they say yes, then I dig into with the VA and see if they have their own eligibility. Because
Gotcha.
most likely, if they're receiving the benefits, then they do.
So I think that adds, so John just popped a question into the chat that he got through YouTube.
Yeah.
Can't the spouse of a deceased disabled vet also be eligible?
Yes, and
So
it has to be, so it has to be that they've had to have passed from that service-connected disability.
Okay.
And the biggest question to ask is, are they receiving the deceased spouse's benefits?
Gotcha.
And 99.9% of the time, if they are,
Okay.
then they have their own eligibility. But it's only
Gotcha.
it's a one-time use eligibility.
Okay.
So, but I'm linked into the VA.
So you can actually.
So I
find
can
that out
actually
for-
find that out.
Okay.
Yes.
Before we go to our next break, let's talk about some of the things that makes additional VA loans more powerful. So there's everything from potentially zero down payment options, things like that. Let's talk about some of those nuggets that are inside the VA loans that makes it so strong.
I just try to get in front of so many people because I'm just like, when you're renting, you're paying 100% interest. People don't see it that way. I see it that if you're renting, you're paying 100% in interest because it's not going in your pocket.
Right.
But the VA loan is 0% down.
Okay.
There's no mortgage insurance.
Okay.
If you have a disability, if you're out and you're a veteran of 10% or more,
Okay.
you will never pay a funding fee
Okay.
to get your loan from the VA. It is remarkable. And in most cases with negotiating and working with realtors, you can get into a house with for nothing out of pocket.
Gotcha.
And it's remarkable the amount of people who have been renting for years that are veterans who don't think that they can buy a house. And they come to me and we're getting them. We just closed on one 2 days ago. He walked into my office and never thought he'd own a house.
Wow.
And he just bought his dream home.
There you go.
You know?
There's nothing better than that possibility of, making somebody's day, so to speak.
Oh,
and finding out.
it's why I do what I do is
Absolutely.
because of that. And shout out to William if you're watching. He just worked so hard, and I have
Absolutely.
so many clients of mine that we put a plan in place. It could have been a year, 2-3 years ago.
Right.
And we worked the plan, and now they're walking in to buying a home from their family.
I
And
love it.
it does. It brings tears to my eyes because it's why I do what I do.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to stop there for the moment. We're a little bit early on the second break. That's okay because I still got a lot to do with Steph, including, me, I got to ask some of my bizarro questions because that's just who I am.
I'm scared.
You're watching, should be. You're watching Aaron's Hour. We'll be right back.
It's not just you're here for 2 years and you're gone. It's you have a community, you have a network.
It doesn't matter where you came from or what you've done in the past. Everybody has the same opportunity here.
The financial resources, the community aspect of it, really important for your first 2 years of college. And you get that at TCC.
We take family real serious here at TCC. We're a community, hence Tidewater Community College.
Sir.
Men, are you disappointing your partner in the bedroom? Let's cut to the chase. Are you suffering from erectile dysfunction? 50% of men between the ages of 40 to 70 experience some form of ED. If you are experiencing ED, there is help without pills or needles to even worry about. Coastal 757 Aesthetics has new technology for men called Apex RF. Apex RF is a modern, non-invasive treatment that uses radio frequency to strengthen tissue from the inside out, resulting in better blood flow to the penis and a happier life partner. Call Coastal 757 Aesthetics at 757-481-4036 for a free consultation. That's 757-481-4036. Coastal 757 Aesthetics. Care for all phases of life.
Stephanie Corcoran, branch manager of the Freedom Lending Team, is a dedicated VA home loan specialist that runs a team with one mission, serving those who have served our country. As a proud military family member, she understands the sacrifices that come with service. That's why Stephanie and her team are committed to making the VA loan process simple, clear, and tailored specifically for veterans and active duty families. Whether you're buying your first home or using your VA benefits again, You deserve a team that knows the ins and outs and puts your needs first. To chat with Stephanie, call 209-777-5160. At Freedom Lending Team, we don't just do VA loans, we specialize in them. Let us help you take the next step by bringing veterans home.
Hey, welcome back to Aaron's Hour. By the way, one of the pictures we were just talking, before we went to break, Stephanie mentioned that you had a buyer recently that went through the steps and can take a little bit. Well, one of the pictures in your commercial, the gentleman with the reddish beard that was holding the flag sign, you said also you went how many years?
I think it was 2.
2 years?
2 years. Yeah, we went 2 years working, and he cheated on me with another lender. I'm gonna throw it out there, Steven, if you're watching.
That means we have to remove him from the commercial.
I know, but he learned his lesson and he came back.
Oh, there you go. All right. John, let's put up the flyers, please, if you would, so we can give those last pops in the commercial. Whichever one you put up first, I'll follow suit. There you go. Tomorrow, May 24th, Pentecost Sunday, churches all around the world are participating in Baptize the World, a campaign to offer baptism opportunities to thousands who want to make a public declaration of their faith in Jesus. In the Hampton Roads region, Life Point Church Hampton Roads is a local host site for this campaign, right in Chesapeake at the Crossways Shopping Center's Old Regal Cinema. If you or a loved one have been waiting to be baptized, now's your chance. To get more information or to sign up to be baptized, go to findlifepoint.church/baptized-hampton-roads. That is tomorrow. All right, next flyer, John. Thank you very much. Hey, this is courtesy of the 2026 Community Impact Challenge, which is part of Budget Blinds. My friend Christy DeCarmo. If you know somebody who you want to nominate for Community Impact Challenge, Budget Blinds gives away 3 $1,000 thank you awards to your nomination if they are selected. So whether it's volunteer EMTs, firefighters, nonprofit volunteers, school church volunteers, everyday community helpers, whoever it is, you must send in your email submission to Christy at cdecarmo@budgetblinds.com. So thank you, Budget Blinds, for that. And last but not least, a reminder, Thursday, June, my caffeine hasn't kicked in. Thursday, June 4th from 4 to 7 p.m. is the grand opening celebration of Back Nine Great Bridge Chesapeake, located at 500 South Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. There's a QR code there to get all the information. Yours truly will be emceeing this event down there for 3 hours. They have founding membership opportunities that once June 4th passes, all of the memberships you currently see on your screen go back to their regular prices. 25 memberships each for Par, Birdie, and Eagle. That's 75 membership opportunities are being offered at discounted rates as part of the founding membership. So get down there, scan the QR code, whether you go down before the 4th or on the 4th. All of these founding membership opportunities will be there. Again, that's Thursday, June 4th from 4 to 7 p.m. Back Nine, grand opening, Great Bridge in Chesapeake. Check it out. All right. Stephanie Corcoran joins me today. She is Freedom Lending Team, specializing in helping all of our veterans get into their dream homes. And what to do about that as I'm throwing papers all over the place. All right, before we get back to business, I have a few of my bizarro questions to throw at you. So I just sprung this on her during the break. I forgot to mention to her, but that makes it that much more fun. All right, are you ready?
Yep, let's go.
All right. Who's your favorite actor of all time? The male side.
Actor. Oh, I told 2.
Okay.
I have Patrick Swayze.
We were talking
My
about
God,
it before.
yeah. Who doesn't like Dirty Dancing? Come on, don't you put baby in a corner.
Don't put baby in a corner.
I know it's controversial, but I like Tom Cruise.
That's okay.
Oh, there's a lot of people. I know.
Well, I think they may like him as an actor.
That's what I said. There's the
non-acting stuff.
The actor part.
The actor part.
You can't not like Risky Business. Come on.
Risky Business. That's right. And of course the Maverick and all that stuff. So
Top Gun.
Top Gun. All right. Who's your favorite actress of all time?
Oh, actress. Oh,
I provide an equal opportunity.
Yeah, I guess. I would say, gosh, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't
we'll come back to that. That's okay. You can think about that one.
Yeah.
All right, here you go.
Probably Sandra Bullock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like me some Sandra Bullock.
I do too. What was your favorite Sandra Bullock movie?
What was the one where she was with Ryan Reynolds? And they were dancing with Betty White. What is
Oh, yeah. That just was like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that I
What
love
could-
that movie.
John will probably
I cannot
search-
remember what the name
John
of
will
it.
probably search and put
Where
in
she
the
was dancing in the circle
Yeah,
with Betty White. Yeah,
yeah,
I love me
gotcha.
some Sandra Bullock.
Okay, so what is your all-time favorite movie? Wait a minute. When it comes on,
Mhm.
all right, you turn off your phone, you grab your favorite adult beverage, friends,
Mhm.
family, or whomever. You don't want to be bothered for
Yep.
2 hours. That movie is what?
Dirty Dancing
It is Dirty Dancing.
and Ghost and some Roadhouse. You
It's
know,
a-
I
it's
mean,
all Pat-
yeah, it's
all
Patrick
Patrick Swayze 24/7
Yeah.
all the time.
But Dirty Dancing.
All right.
My goal in life is to go to and stay at the inn that it was
Up
filmed
in the
at.
Catskills.
Oh
up in the
yeah.
mountains. I grew up in the Catskills. My grandparents had a summer bungalow up there, and I'd go up there every
Yeah.
summer. My mom, when she was alive, obviously, but in the 60s and early 70s, she was a dancer up in the Catskills.
Wow.
Yeah, I have pictures of her with some famous people up there.
Yeah.
So I have a soft spot for the
But
Catskills.
see, I'm more sportsy than I am the movies, as
No,
you
no,
know. I'm more of
that's
the
right.
sports fan. than I
JJ
am-
Watt, if you're listening, JJ,
Oh my God.
you got a big fan here. I need an autographed jersey, JJ. Send it my way. Would you
I would
please?
die.
That's right. Okay, last question for this round would be very simply this: what's your favorite music genre?
Country.
Country.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite song, if it comes on the radio, you're at a red light.
Yep.
You don't care what anybody's looking into your car. You're doing your own karaoke thing.
Mhm.
What song is that you're singing?
George Strait, The Chair. It's my all-time favorite song.
It's amazing. The Proposal.
There we go. Yep,
All
that's
right.
it.
See, I knew John
Yeah,
would find
yeah.
it. All right, let's get back to some business. During the break, another question came in through YouTube, more of a statement, so please verify this.
Uh-huh.
Also, it is believed veterans' property tax exemptions exist. So can you
Yes.
talk to
So, and that's every state is different when
Mhm.
it comes to exemptions, not even just veterans, just
Mhm.
disability in general. So it's a disability exemption. Virginia is one of them. If you're 100% disabled,
Mhm.
you don't pay property taxes. You don't pay on licensing or taxes on your car, your vehicle, one of
Mhm.
them. In Washington state, it's by county and it goes by income, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So a lot of times if you're disabled and you're getting disability and your retirement, things like that, you're out of the realm of income.
Mhm.
So every single state is different. So I always tell people, if you're interested in what it is, go on to, the Chat GPT or your Google system and go and Google tax exempt states. It'll tell you what the states are: Texas, Virginia.
Mhm.
But also, if you're not really sure, go to your county tax assessor's office. And they will be able to tell you what your exemption would be. And a lot of times, depending on the county or the state, it could even start at 70 or 80%. It
Oh,
doesn't
wow.
have to be 100.
Okay.
So definitely get a hold of your tax assessor's office to see if and that's for any disability, not
Okay.
just VA.
So, in the information you provided, there's a quote that you put in here, which I want to address. Date the rate, marry the house.
Oh, I hate that.
Talk about that.
It's stupid. Sorry.
All right, that's it. See ya. Thanks for
I
watching.
know. No, I'm sorry. But
No, that's
it
okay.
is. It's because, when you're buying a house, it's the biggest purchase
Sure.
that you are going to make,
Mhm.
unless you're in a midlife crisis and you go buy a stupid car. But buying a home is the biggest thing that somebody can do
Sure.
in their life.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of things that, interest rates are a big one. We were just talking right before
Mhm.
we started about, I was astounded that, your guy started out at 8%. Like, that hurts my heart. But it gets you into the house.
Sure.
And getting you into the house is one thing, but knowing how to get out of the rate
Right.
once you're in the house,
Mhm.
because you have what's called a VA IRRL, interest rate reduction loan, that we can do to try to reduce those costs as long as you've had your loan 210 days.
Excuse me.
And the
Yeah,
interest,
we're all choked
I
up with that
know,
one. Sorry.
and the interest rates have dropped at least 0.5%. We could look into reducing your interest rate. So, when 2020 happened and COVID happened and all of a sudden it went 8, 7, 6, 5, we were bouncing those every 210 days,
Right.
getting you to the lowest rate.
Mhm.
So that's the goal, is to make sure, let's get you in the house. Let's
Mhm.
get you start earning some equity
Right.
in the house, because when you're renting, you're paying 100% in interest.
Right.
But if the interest rate is 5-6% in compared to what it was to the 2s and 3s,
Mhm.
people are like, it's 5 and 6%. that is actually way lower
Right.
than it used to be, because the average interest rate was 8%.
Yeah.
When I bought my first house in 96 in California, my interest rate was 14.5%.
I remember when those rates were.
But the housing was low.
Right.
You know, you got to, it offsets it, you
Sure.
know, and now we're seeing where the interest rates are higher,
Right.
but now housing is higher. So we're not doing this balance anymore.
Right.
So being able to give you those rates, but still buying a home, nothing down, no
Mhm.
mortgage insurance, walking in possibly not paying anything out of pocket, and you're paying less than, you know, between, you know, 7% or less. Right now, average is between 5 and 6.5, depending on credit and
Right.
different things.
Right.
You can be a homeowner and start building
Sure.
equity and getting into things. And, you know, in 4 years, I've bought and sold houses over the years. You
Mhm.
know, we've had a VA loan. Every single house I've ever bought, I've never lost money on.
Right.
I've always made money on real estate.
Mhm.
And some people have their own views of that.
Right.
I've done real estate for a long time,
Right.
and I'm now looking in next year buying my third house
Okay.
because it's liquidated money,
Right.
you know, tax write-offs, the whole 9 yards.
Well,
So
you mentioned that buying a house is the biggest expense or biggest
Oh, yeah.
purchase someone's going to have, but at the same time, it provides the biggest potential flexibility for one's life because it is the biggest asset.
Mhm.
You can make a boatload of money potentially, like you're showing in what you're doing. So there is the sides to that argument that yes, it's the most nerve-wracking purchase one
Oh,
will
yeah.
make when you think of hundreds of thousands of dollars and you know you have to
Mm-hmm.
divulge your life to these lenders to make it happen. But at the same time, there's that equity word
Yep.
that if you have that equity side of that property, gives you the greatest flexibility as well in your
yeah.
life.
And I tell people, like, when you rent, you're paying somebody else's mortgage.
Mhm.
You're already paying a mortgage. It's just not yours, and
It's
you're
just
not
not yours.
benefiting from
Right.
it. But some people don't want to own a home.
Right.
They don't want to fix anything. They want to call a landlord, or they
Mhm.
like an apartment life, and that's okay.
Sure.
That's if you're one of those
Sure.
people, then that's
God bless you.
fine.
That's-
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not one of them.
Right. Right.
But you know, when you are building wealth,
hmm
you know, real estate is part of building wealth.
Absolutely.
And it always has been. If you look at the millionaires, the billionaires, all of them have built a lot of it with real estate.
Apparently, YouTube is firing up like crazy because now John throws in their closing costs.
So yes, so every single place that you buy a house, the closing costs are going to be different.
Mhm.
You know, because you got property taxes,
Right.
you've got homeowners insurance, you have title and escrow fees, lender fees.
Commissions.
The seller is the one that usually pays the commissions.
Mhm.
But now that there's a new thing that kind of came out in real estate, I'm sure you've heard of it with having your realtors on.
Yep.
You know, that's negotiable.
Okay.
Everything is negotiable.
Sure.
A lot of people don't understand that when they buy a house, you can actually shop title companies.
Okay.
You don't have to go with the title company that the listing agent
Oh.
or the realtors put on the contract.
Okay.
You can actually shop that. You
Okay.
can call other places and find out the fees.
Mhm.
I have preferred title companies that I work with that
Right.
are amazing. I have some that I will veer, like, as soon as I see it on the sheet, I will ask, hey, can we shop around?
Right.
Because I know that they're
Mhm.
shopping. I just had one I closed. It was actually here in Virginia Beach
Okay.
that they went with a real estate attorney,
Okay.
not a title company or anything. And they unfortunately got charged $3,000 more than if they would have went with one of my other people.
Jeez.
So it makes a huge difference.
Sure. And you don't realize it's like we said before. It's like you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
You know, as someone who's purchased homes over the years too, I'm relying on the real estate agent who's representing me, one-stop shop.
Yes.
I don't know from title companies. I don't know from appraisers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whoever you work with, just get the best. And
Yeah.
I have total faith that you're going to do right by me when it comes to that, but not always the case.
Yeah. And it's makes a difference on who you work with.
Sure.
Because
Sure.
I used to do insurance too.
Mhm.
So when you get a homeowner's insurance policy, I'm looking at it.
Right.
I'm making sure you're going to be covered, and there's not all these extra stupid things that
Right.
you're getting, or the things that they left out to make it look cheaper.
Right.
So if your house floods or whatever, you know, you have
Especially if
sewage
you're in a
backup.
flood zone.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that it really pays to work with somebody who really knows what they're looking at.
Absolutely.
And with your realtor too.
Yeah.
you want to make sure you got somebody who's going to advocate for you.
Mm-hmm.
You got somebody who's going to fight for you and be like, no, this stuff needs to get fixed.
Mm-hmm.
These are issues. And those closing costs, you know, those can add up. You know,
Absolutely.
usually the general rule of thumb is 3%. It's 3% of whatever it is that you're going to be paying for the house.
Right.
And those are negotiable. We can, you know, I work really closely with a lot of the realtors of trying to come up with the best solution for the sellers and the buyers.
Right.
How can we get it to maybe they're going to pay a little bit and maybe we're going to pay a little bit, maybe they're going to give a little bit to be able to make everything work for everybody.
Absolutely.
And I'm willing to, you know, 10 o'clock at night, you know, a lot of my people are on the West Coast and I'm not, and
That's
you know,
right.
right now.
That's right.
So it really just find somebody that you connect with that is going to represent you in the best possible way.
Absolutely. All right. We're running your website again. It is valoansbysteph.com. Her email address is scorcoran, SCORCORAN at prmg.net.
Net.
I was just
not com.net.
.net.
Yes.
There you go. But the website is .com.
It is.
Right.
Yes.
So don't be totally confused.
I know.
Okay. A couple other quick questions because we're down to only a couple of minutes already.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
That's fast.
All right. So it's not going to be these questions.
Yeah.
I may throw one more
All
at
right.
you, but I got my goofy stuff.
All
I
right,
got to
let's
ask
go.
you first. Favorite all-time vacation spot that you'd like to vacation to someday?
Oh, probably the Bahamas.
The Bahamas?
Oh yeah, I like me some water and some sun. Yeah, and a tasty beverage on some beach.
There you go. Some
Yep.
adult beverage.
Yeah.
Favorite meal, top to bottom, starting with an appetizer?
Ooh, chips and salsa.
Okay.
Oh, I'm a Mexican person. I love me
Okay.
some Mexican food. Well, I am from the Central Valley in California.
Yes, and that is primarily a lot of Mexican,
That is,
Hispanic
oh
food.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like me some good chips and salsa and some
Okay.
guacamole.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
Main dish.
Tacos.
Okay.
Tacos are life.
Any particular size
Nope,
with
I-
the tacos? Just straight up
Oh
tacos?
no, just I do not discriminate against my tacos. I like me some, yeah,
Would it be a margarita then, presumably, to drink with that?
always.
Okay.
Peach. It's got to be peach.
And how about a favorite dessert after
Cheesecake.
tacos? Any just plain
Uh,
or chocolate or like syrup?
Again, I don't discriminate on my cheesecake either. So, and there's a cheesecake factory right around the corner.
There
I
is
just
right out
seen.
the corner in this building.
Oh
complex.
yeah,
That is correct.
I've given up a lot of things for diet wise in my
Right.
life, and cheesecake will not be one
There
of
you
them.
go. All right.
Yes.
Very good. If money were no object, and presuming you don't already have this parked in your driveway, what is your favorite all-time vehicle that you'd love to own someday?
Oh my, oh,
And not a JJ Wattmobile or anything.
oh yeah. Does he come? If he came with it,
As
you
the
know,
driver.
my gosh. You know what? I love a Toyota.
Okay.
I'm a Toyota girl. I drive a Toyota now,
Okay.
but I think that they have this really nice Tundra.
Yes.
That
The new one that's out.
oh my god, yeah, that's yeah, because I drive a Toyota Tacoma and
Right.
she's bright red, you know,
Mhm.
she's like the flag,
Sure, right?
and I love my Toyota, but having a Tundra
Okay.
to just yeah,
All
that's
right.
yeah, I'm not a fancy girl, I'm
That's
not
okay.
a I'm not a sport,
It's okay.
you know, but yeah, give me a good truck and I'm there.
It's funny because I want you all to realize this, that she's your typical cowboy country-esque girl
I have
because
cowboy boots on right now.
she has that's what I was gonna say. Beautiful dress and everything, and you would think when you wear a dress, no, she's got her cowboy boots on underneath, and that's
sure
that's
do.
great. So, which is really good because I want the viewers to realize that I think a lot of people, when it comes to lenders and real estate people, there's this perception people have of them that they're sitting in this ivory tower with this big wooden desk, making they got the big stamp that says rejected. Stephanie is about as down-to-earth a person as you could ever hope to just have a conversation with, let alone be somebody that you're going to communicate with what ends up being the most important purchase that one has.
I'm very honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very
and knowledgeable and knows what she's got going on. All right. 2 final questions in my group of gobbledygook. Number 1, favorite superhero, Batman and everybody else, although I know your answer, which is okay because she's my wife's. So you can go ahead and say it.
It's Wonder Woman.
There you go. That's okay. Well, there's some belief that Wonder Woman and Batman, somewhere behind the scenes.
You got to understand, as a little girl with black hair,
right?
There was never any like the princesses,
right?
You know,
It was
is
always
Snow
blonde,
White,
right?
You
It was
know,
always-
so I.
But Linda Carter was
Oh,
the
yeah.
Wonder Woman of the day.
She
back
was the
then.
best.
She
Yep.
was the best, like Adam West was with Batman,
Yes.
in my opinion. So that's okay. All right. The only serious question I ask of that conglomeration of goofiness, this is the only serious one. When the day comes that you're going to be standing in front of the pearly gates many, 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 many years from
Yep.
now. And the maitre d' is there to welcome you into the pearly gates. What is it you want to hear them say to you upon entering?
Ugh.
I told you it was a tough one. It was the
Man.
only serious one that I asked.
Probably, we know what you've done
Okay.
and we've seen it
Okay.
and it was pretty funny, but we're going to let you in anyway.
Okay. I was saying, we see what you've done. But
Yeah.
you're coming in anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
You've made up for it.
There you go.
Yeah,
Good for you.
so-
All right. All right. We have about 30 seconds left. So let's give a
Okay.
quick tie up of everything that you want to say to somebody out there
Oh my
regarding
gosh.
VA loans. 30 seconds.
Call me if you got questions. Even if you don't use me, I want you to be informed.
Okay.
You got to know what you're doing before you do it. Don't go look at houses and put your Christmas tree in there and you don't know what you qualify for.
Right.
But if you don't think that you qualify, you might actually do.
There you go.
So call me. We'll run it. Doesn't cost you anything.
And we'll find out.
And we'll find out.
There you go. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today. I got to wrap up quickly. 30 minutes from now, The Voice of 757 with Tammy McGee will be on the local Cox Cable Channel 4. The show will be up on Facebook early next week after Memorial Day. Please be safe out there enjoying next week's episode. Chris Bryant from Tidewater Community College will be here with me talking about the latest of Tidewater Community College. With that, everybody, be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. Enjoy Memorial Day. We'll see you next week right here on Aaron's Hour. Thank you for watching. It was a good way. So.